Hello, YouTube people. I'm back in the barn. I've been looking for a project that I could get done in a day or two, and I think this might be it. If you remember, when I was building this roof up here, I got over here to the end wall, and I made a comment that this wall was rotten, and I was going to have to blow it out and rebuild it at some point. I think today might be the day, or maybe tomorrow. When I built the roof, I changed the pitch. It used to go from left to right, or I guess that'd be reversed for you. And this was the downside. The top of the roof was right about here. And everything flowed down this way, kind of. Over the years, it just started rotting and leaking and developing holes. Now, I don't think you can see it in the frame, but the top of the roof is up here, and it comes down this way. I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I'm used to yelling for the microphone. I have a new mic on. It's not a high dollar one, but I'm trying it out. We'll see how it works. Anyway, so the pitch now, the roof goes from that direction down this way. This is not a load-bearing wall. It's actually, it's not much of a wall right now anyway. My hope is to take down all this rotted wood and leave the metal standing up. I don't know if I can do that or not. If I can't, it's not going to be a huge deal to reinstall that metal on the back side of the new wall. But I'm going to build a new wall right here, and then it'll probably stop about like this one does, and then I'll build a little section. I'll just build this in going up to the rafters. This right here is all temporary. I just put it 2 pieces in to keep the birds out, and it's done a good job. I haven't had any issues with birds, or oddly enough, I haven't had any issues with any wasps getting inside. So that's good. Yeah, so I'm going to take this out, try to leave the metal up, build a new wall, stand it in place, and then build this section up to the rafters. Connect all that, put new metal on the outside for the upper portion. Now, what I have in mind when I do this is, I mentioned it in one of my other videos, we don't have a place to go to the restroom out here. Many years ago, there was supposedly a mobile home on the property, and then later there was a RV on the property for, I guess somebody was living out of it, I don't know. There's also water on the property. There is a power pole, but I do not have electric. I've chosen not to get the meter because I don't want to pay a bill right now. I don't need it. All I have is this barn. I have a generator, and coming up, maybe in a month or so, I hope, you might get to see me test out a small solar panel system. We'll see how that goes. But meanwhile, I want to fix this wall. Right here, I want to build a small room, a bathroom. Basically, what I'm thinking about is something that's 5x8 or 4x8 sheet of plywood, basically, and have I'll probably build a new wall right here, not to replace that, but just for the outside of the bathroom. Yeah, the outside wall of the bathroom. This will be all new. I'll probably insulate that. That'll be part of the bathroom wall. Wall here. Here will be a door, and the door, I guess it could swing in or out, but normally you want to swing in. Maybe a little cabinet here. That sink that I showed in a different video, it's already in a cabinet sink. Put it right here, and on the very end, maybe down here, have a commode. So that's what I'm thinking about, and right now we're going to get started doing something with this wall. That one very hard. sure and pound those nails out. I don't want to step on them. Wow. Wow. It's termite and water rot. See, if everything comes apart like that, this won't be too bad. There's gonna be a pile over here. I got this down back in the truck. Put it in the truck. I have to run off. That's it. This is as easy as it is so far. I was expecting to put a little more fight. Boy, I bet this rotten sawdust over. Oh, no, no. Gloves, my shoes, my pants. Oh, there's some screws in here. That was smart. I'm going to go behind here and take those screws out. It's not going to be easy. Today is day 2. Today I'm going to start trying to get this wall set where I want it. There's some extra dirt here that has piled up against this, and these stones have been placed here for like a perimeter, and they're not quite in the right spot. I'm going to move those and get this line a little straighter, and then I'm going to dig 2 holes where the posts need to go for the outer part of the wall. Get all that started. Part of that old post is down there, and I can't get it out. I need to so I can sink my new post. There we go. There we go. So this is what I'm left with. Holes about 1 foot deep, maybe a little deeper. And then I got one of those blocks down in there. I'm going to rest my post on top of that. And same thing over here. And then I've got this line dug out quite a bit. I'll have to dig it out a little more before I set my wall, I think. Yeah, it's coming along. I have really struggled getting started this morning. Just every phase, from digging the holes to figuring out what I'm going to do about these. I attached a kind of a header board up here, and everything I've done is taken longer, more difficult than I want. But I got these posts just sitting here, and I got it figured out to where they're plumb. I put a shim right here, so that one's going to be plumb. And I wanted to be able to lay the wall down and build it and put a sheet of plywood on the back to have a backing for this metal. Not enough room to lay it down in there. And when you pull these posts out, there's not enough room up. So I'm going to have to build it in place. And that presents a problem, trying to get this wood back in behind it. And the other issue is I'm trying to think 2 or 3 steps ahead, because I'm gonna build a floor for the bathroom, and so I'm trying to think of where this bottom bar is going to be. And I just took my best guess where I want it, and I made a mark on that post over there. I want to show you something. I bought this laser level. It's cheap. Got it from a online China website. Paid about $7 for it, I believe. Bought it for another project that I was going to be doing in the future. But you can see I got this stone level using the bubble on it. I hope it's I hope it's level. And it's projecting the line on the pencil line that I drew. Now I need to get another one on that post over there. So I'm going to turn this puppy around until it hits that post over there. And it gets a little dull, but you can see it right there. So I'm going to copy that line, and hopefully they're pretty good. And then what I can do is I can put a scab on a piece right here to hold the bottom brace of my new wall. Well, I thought I was recording and I wasn't. Like I said, I got to build a wall in place because I can't lay it down and tip it back up. My dilemma is I need to get a sheet of plywood on the back, and if I build the wall, how am I going to get the plywood on the back, because the metal's in the way and I didn't want to take down the metal. So what I did was I just put this bottom plate in place, and on the back side of it right here I drove some screws in, but I left them sticking out about 1/2 inch all along the way. So what I'm going to try to do is be able to get a sheet of plywood back here and stand it up on those screws, and then go around the back, and I can just tack in this metal from the backside. So let's see if that's going to work. When we get here a lot of mornings, I'll take a walk with Frank just to get him his nature fix and a little bit of exercise because he's too fat. But anyway, after we walk and he sniffs around a little bit, he's kind of tired of it. And he's ready to get in the truck and just lay around. Lay around until maybe lunchtime or so, or time to go home, and then he'll get out and walk around a little bit, and then we'll leave. Frank, you ready to get in the truck? You ready to get in the truck? Huh? You ready? You ready to get in the truck? He got his underbelly wet walking in the grass this morning, and got it full of sand, and I don't really want to let him in just yet until he dries off. You wanting to get in the truck? Is that what you want, little Frank? Huh? Are you in the truck now? You gonna hold out? You want some water? You want some water? Here. Let me get you some water. Oh. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Now he'll just stay in the truck. I'll roll down some windows and in the shade and nice cool breeze. I made some marks down here on the bottom plate of the wall, 16-inch on center. So when I finish this out for a bathroom, I'll have the studs in the right spot to put sheetrock up, or another piece of plywood if that's what I want to do. But I'm trying to figure out how this board is on an angle. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how much to cut it to get the board to stand plumb. Now, I don't have a real plumb bob, but I do have my chalk line. If I didn't explain myself well, what I'm doing is I'm trying to transfer the mark that I made on the bottom plate up to the top, and I'm using a chalk line as a plumb bob. By holding the string and moving it on the top plate, I can dangle that plumb bob over the bottom until it hits the mark, and then I just transfer that mark up to the top, and then my studs will be plumb. What I'll do after I get these cut, I'll check them with a level, make sure they're plumb before I place them. Believe it or not, I'm trying to use up a lot of this lumber that came out of the old roof. Trying to save a few dollars. That's perfect. There we go. Off camera, I got the next piece of plywood cut. I'm going to try to fit it up in here before I put any more studs up. I also got the next two studs cut, and I guess I'll have two more to go. Looky there. dog. That actually looks like a real wall. All right. That's the first thing that made me happy in a couple of days on this project. That may not fit that way. I shouldn't have put that stud in yet. Well, I'm gonna have to go outside and see if I can get it in from out there. Ha! Deal with that, buddy. Deal with that. So I must say I'm very happy with the end result. Very discouraged trying to get there. I knew what I wanted. I had a vision in my head, but trying to do things backwards, and then also trying to adapt to this barn. It's just a pole, an old pole barn, leaning every which way, and is what it is. So anyway, I got a wall completed. I've got 2 new posts on the corner that are supporting it very well. I put another footer in down here. There's a block under that. Each post and the block and my bottom plate are all pressure treated because we'd had a problem with termites out here. And you can see all along the old wall, just like this one was, a lot of it's rotted down there. So all that I have down there right now is some metal. Got my new sheeting behind here. Got my studs 16 inches on center. Very, 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 very sturdy. I put the top plate in here. I was able to nail. There's 2 rafters. There's 2 rafters real close together here. That's the way the roof came out. So there's one here and there's one behind here. I was able to nail the top plate into that rafter. So that ties the roof into this wall. In case this pole, the original pole, ever rotted out, this one would be able to take over. Yeah, I'm real happy with it.